This is a test. This is a test of the Acoustic Homestead Project. This is only a test.
It took me a little while to pick up the guitar, but after I started picking up the guitar and learning that's when I realized that I want to make my own music.
And what it takes is dedication and hard work.
Whether you're listening or playing, somebody can relate to something, and it's a feel-good thing for sure.
Hello and welcome back to the AHP Studio Podcast, your very own music appreciation outlet for the Ozark region of the Midwest. I think everybody had a great weekend. The weather was fine. There were lots of live events happening in Steelville, in Farmington, in Park Hills. Oh, so many. I don't have a whole lot to talk about this evening, this morning, this afternoon, whatever time you decide to listen to this, if you're listening, because I want to get back to my game. I did not have much time off this week, so I'm going to game out a little bit before I got to go back to the long grind. Anyway, this episode I spoke with a great, close, long-time friend of mine, Tyler Wernecker. He is a very talented musician, plays the guitar, he does lead vocals and harmonics, very, very talented on the harmonic vocals. I appreciate his accompaniment every time we get together. So let's get into this episode, and here we go. All right, dude. It's been forever, man. It feels like, it feels like it's been years. So I know it's been like months, like 8 months.
Yeah.
Probably almost a year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like I was telling you.
Yeah, how you doing? Are you liking your new job?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love my new job, you know. Like I was telling you, it's crazy that I've almost been there a year here in about a week or two, you know. So
that's pretty awesome.
I know.
I'm going on 3 months with my new job, and I love it.
Where are you at now?
With the trash company.
That's right.
I'm the trash man.
Ain't no shame, though. Ain't no shame. I mean, my job's not glorifying at all. I just unload and load Pepsi trucks. So
this is the best job I've ever had because I can just be in my head building my little empire and just focusing on, moving forward in life and dumping trash. It's thoughtless labor, like slave labor. My favorite.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, man. I mean, that's kind of what mine is, Just got to pay attention where I'm placing pallets and stuff,
Yep.
It's not a hard job.
Trash goes in the hole. All right. Well, I got some serious questions about some music because I feel like we've been friends for like over half of our lives now, pretty much, and I've never really picked your brain about like where it all started for you and how did you become such a shredder? And not only that, but like really what kind of inspired you to get into music early in life that gave you that push to say this is what I really want to do,
I think my spark kind of started, I mean, I don't know, whenever I was a kid, music always kind of just came easy to me, whether, me and my dad's favorite thing to do was just jam in the car. He introduced me to, Aerosmith, Eve 6, things like that. So, but he had his electric guitar in Connecticut when I first found that. And then about 2005, whenever we moved here into Missouri, started taking guitar lessons. And don't get me wrong, when I first started in between two teachers, you had that time period, man, I don't want to do this at all. This is hard, yada, yada, nonsense. But, I got back up on the horse and kept going with it. My second teacher is really what unlocked the door, he taught me a lot of things. Plus he taught me how, like, to connect, when I listen by ear and everything, to like really establish that, because that's not something nice to have in your back pocket.
Right.
But yeah, like once I like really started going with it, it was just like boom, off to the races. And then soloing in general, the shredding part, as you referred to it, that alone is a passion, just because, I mean, I don't want it to be nasty necessarily. I don't want it to be like this, and that. I just want it to flow with the song itself, you know? Everybody loves a good solo. But I believe the best solo is when it just empowers the song altogether and just adds more to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that, I mean, that's where like my inspiration kind of leads to, especially when we're playing together or I'm playing with somebody else. You know, I'm just like trying to add to it, whether it's backup vocals or shredding or whatever.
Being a passionate accompaniment, rather than like a lot. So you know how like a lot of bands, or not a lot of bands, but I guess the hair metal phase where they do like minutes of solos and the whole main focus everybody's loving and waiting for that guitar part and just, you know. And I mean, I used to be that way too, but now I really focus more on the lyrics and I appreciate the song as a whole, as a whole artwork, rather than one part or the other. Because I even find myself like trying to hear what kind of drum are they playing, you know, like maybe they're playing a hand drum, or maybe they're playing just a little like with the brush sticks or whatever.
I totally felt that in my soul, because it's no different than Avenged Sevenfold. Bringing up a random band, that his snare drum in Backcountry, it always just snuck out to me, and the way he was playing it sounded like he was a percussionist in a marching band, you know? Yeah. But like, it's just like you were saying, small details like that you focus on, you know?
Yeah, and those things, it's like, I want to be a freaking drummer, dude. And then, you know, I go through all those fantasies or phases of fantasies of being a drummer or being a bass guitarist or being a lead guitarist. And
oh yeah,
I just kind of found my niche is singing, and I'm pretty much not the greatest at much else.
Yeah. No, man, I like your voice. I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, you just work at it. I mean, I'm not too sure I would play another instrument, but I do know that the fiddle or violin in general always intrigued me. That's just a beautiful instrument, you know? Like, I think fiddle style especially, you know, that's I think that's the route to go.
I like my passion is strings all the way, so I get you on that, because the fiddle is a pretty cool instrument. I personally want to learn how to play the cello or upright bass, because I think it'd be really awesome to just be a bassist and backup vocalist, or bassist and lead guitar, or lead vocal and bass with somebody else doing guitar and someone doing rhythm.
Yeah.
So like around about what age was that when you got into the guitar lessons?
Yeah, I was definitely in 6th grade, because when we moved here, I was towards the end of 6th grade, like spring. So I think I do believe that's where it started, because whenever mom and dad bought their house, they had to remodel some parts, and we were staying with grandma and grandpa. So I remember I was starting the lessons around then. So yeah, 05-ish to 225. I've been messing with it.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I started playing guitar when I was 14, so.
Ah, man, still got some years under your belt, you know?
Not in the same direction, but I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You know, it's just something that, you know, I think you definitely have grown to understand. It's just like it's not just a hobby. You know, it's so you can just take it so many different directions. Creatively. There we go. Just because there's so many genres you can just get lost in. You know, and I think, with that being said, I think that's why I'm very thankful that I have such a wide range of music that I can, you know, run around with. You know, I'm not one of those like, nope, pop music, no. Well, you know, I'm not one of those. I like Sabrina Carpenter, so. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I listen to Sheryl Crow and like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, like Haley Steinfeld. You know, she's good. She did a little bit of music. You know, now she's acting and things like that. But, you know. Yeah, if you tell me you don't like Kelly Clarkson, like, I'm not too sure we can be friends, you know?
For me, it's just about, you know, authentic music that doesn't just either repeat the same thing over and over, or it doesn't always have to be authentic lyrics, because I do like rock music and other things like that too.
Yeah, I mean, there's the goofy stuff, like the band, the F-Ups. They had a, you know, 1-hit, 2-hit wonder, but they were just a, you know, goofy band, like unfortunately they didn't make it, but I still like the 2 songs they did,
Right.
Very childish lyrics, I guess, if you would, so, but I mean, you'll just have that, I mean, if you have a wide mind to music, you'll learn that, you like a lot more than you realize,
Yeah, it's kind of funny that both of us play guitar all of that time, and we didn't really play guitar with each other until like years later.
Yeah, so like when I met you, and we were running around being hoodlums, at that time you were like, heavy into metal.
Yeah.
You were just heavy, but I was also dominantly like what I called alternative rock. I guess people call it new metal. I'm not too sure how the labels work, but Nickelback, Breaking Benjamin, Stained, I was just locked in there. So yeah, I mean we talked about it, here and there, but
Yeah, mostly back then I was just trying to learn how to play lead and like be a metalhead or whatever.
yeah.
I didn't get into folk music until my 20s.
Yeah, no, and that's the crazy part, because also during that time I was still going to bluegrass festivals down in Grassy, Missouri. They'd have all these campers, every other camper next to it would have a jam session going, after their little concert of bluegrass bands that would play. Everybody go back to their campers at night, and you can just pick whichever one you want to play with, and they'd be like, pull up chair. I mean, there was,
Wow.
Yeah, dude, like I had a lot of stuff to soak in there, and I soaked up just about everything that I could,
That's pretty cool. I didn't have a whole lot of opportunities to go to festivals or music concerts as a kid, so I was just kind of sheltered to radio music. I mean, like, so broke. I didn't have an iPod to have my own selections and stuff. So
Man, radio music, I
Yeah.
tell you, that killed that killed a lot of bands, and it also put a lot of hate on bands because the radio would just shove down the same hit songs down your throat
yes,
every day, 12 times a day, if not more, you
yeah,
know?
they still do.
Yeah, like that's why I'm glad, we have the opportunities like Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora. We don't have to, let them choose the songs, because you and I both know that they were albums of songs that were sometimes better than the hit songs that, got so popular, but nobody paid attention to them.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, crazy. Like, I remember when 93.3 was still a radio station. I don't know if you remember that one. And they played See You at the Show by Nickelback. And I'm like, that was not one of their hits off that album whatsoever, but I was like, hell yeah. Like, throw in some diversity, exploring an album,
Right. Be a good quality radio station.
Yes.
And put some stuff out there instead of putting the same 17 song list in the morning and the other 24s in the afternoon. And
yeah, like, because don't get me wrong, like, popular songs, people want to hear them, but diversity is good too, because, like, how much more that would help the artist as well, like.
Exactly. It does help the artist a lot, because a lot of people don't know the artist outside of those one or two specific songs, versus if they'd play the hit song, and then maybe the next day they'd play another song from that album, and the next day they'd play a different song from that album.
Yeah, or like every few days even, just
Right.
some sort of algorithm to where it wasn't
On repeat.
yes,
Because the repeat's awfully annoying. I'm going to put my phone on silent. Sorry about that.
Nah, man, you're good.
I don't like it. Speaking of radio, actually, I'm pretty excited to announce that I'll have my podcast on Black River Public Radio out of Poplar Bluff, Missouri, 101.9 FM.
Woo!
It is a local station, but the county, I can't remember the name of the county, but they are the gateway to the Ozarks, which is cool because my podcast is for the Ozark region.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of neat.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to be here.
Anyway, getting back to it, were you in any like garage bands and stuff like that in high school?
It was with a brother of mine, shout out to him, I haven't seen him in forever, Jared McFarland. He played drums, he was in a jazz band, very good drummer. I could not even imagine how good of a drummer he is now. But yeah, me and him had something going, me, him, and Tyler Heflin from high school, he was bass player, and We had another guy, I think, Tyler LaPlante. Yeah, he was a grade above us, but he was a wicked guitar player. I liked him a lot. But, I mean, we got as far as doing a couple of cover songs like Fat Lip by Sum 41, things like that, but we never, scheduling-wise, could ever necessarily nail it down, you know?
Right.
I mean, that's about as close as I got to playing with a group of people, at least with, like, electric guitars and the band thing, you know?
I was in a lot of pretend garage bands when I was in school. They're like, yeah, we're in a band. We're called, Far From Despair. Some stupid shit.
Panic at the Nursing Home. I remember in high school somebody did that. There was a gag. There was a talent show or whatever.
That's messed up.
Yeah, well, it
Panic
was
at the
fun.
Nursing Home.
Panic at the, well, I mean, it fits me now, you know, ex-CNA.
That's funny.
But, no, I mean, back on the radio thing, it's like not all radio stations are the same, you know. Like, you know, shout out to the radio station that's, you know, picked you up, you know. That's cool, you know, but I don't know. It was just a different time when we were growing up as kids, you know. But,
Yeah.
you know, as far as me and you at our early stages not playing together, I mean, you know, we were just both into different types of music, you know. I mean, I know we like to watch each other play. You know, that was a thing, you know. But I will say to this day, you were one of the last people I ever thought that would get into the bluegrass folk music kind of stuff and just go ham. I mean, you just researched the hell out of it, and I love and proud of that. You know what I mean? Because that's just awesome, you know.
Yeah, it was more about me. It was better for me to open and expand my horizons with music so that I could get into something that was more natural for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, because I mean, when I lost interest in wanting to play metal, I kind of lost interest in playing the guitar at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it took me years to realize, you know, I could play my guitar while I'm singing, and I like to sing.
Yeah, absolutely. Singing in the car is like one of the best all-time things to do, besides the shower. You know, that's the two stages.
Right. Was singing really always a passion for you, just accompanied to the guitar?
Oh, no. Just because I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of my own voice, you know, but I think everybody is that way if you can sing or things like that. I learned to love it just because I learned that I can do different things with it. You know, just trying to push the limits on backup vocals, lead vocals, or, you know, the highs and the lows, like, you know, because I think you described my voice the best. Like, I can't remember how you did, but from what I got it, like, I'm just somewhere in the middle, you know, but then I have a ridiculously high falsetto for some reason. So
I admire your ability to just find an alternate melody when you're singing, so like doing the harmony thing, or you know what I mean, harmonizing, isn't that what that's called?
Yeah.
When you're not singing the same melody, which would be synchronizing.
Yeah. I started messing around with that probably in sophomore of high school because I got very intrigued with just because I can't think of the other band off the top of my head, Breaking Benjamin's backup vocals. You know, that Phobia album, they were doing something nice with the backup vocals. They were just wrapping themselves around the lead singer, but the music, you know, backing that as well was just a beautiful thing. So that's when I started paying attention to what the other guy was doing. Like, how are you doing that? And then it transferred over into other bands, you know. And I just started realizing that I really like doing that more than I like singing lead, you know. So, you know, but again, that's just like with the guitar playing, with the soloing and the melodies. I just like to, you know, make it prettier, or, you know, just amp it more, or just, you know, give it more color, you know. So,
do you find yourself doing that to songs that don't have a backup vocalist?
All the time. But some, it's hard, and some I just like the lead singer Disturbed.
Just like, let it be.
yeah. Like, it's like I try. I'm like, no. Why do I keep coming back to this? You know. But I've done that with other artists, and then I finally find that niche. I'm like, okay, and that's with or without whether or not they have a backup singer or not,
And then it becomes kind of it was like a hidden talent that you were able to focus in on, and now you can do it. You do it with me and the guys all the freaking time in the garage, and I'm like, where did that even come from?
Yeah.
That's not part of the song.
Yeah.
But you made it sound like it was supposed to be there.
Well, I mean, I think that's where the passion kicks in, like behind the creativity. Like, because I mean, whenever you're gonna lead or anything like that, like, I believe that you want to go with the flow of it, not like do your own thing and like it's like it's a good solo, but does it match? Does it whatever? I just like it to flow like 100%, and to where it just does sound natural and not foreign. And
going back to your guitar, do you have the same habit, or not necessarily to say the word habit, that sounds negative, but you have the same ability to not necessarily even sneak in a solo, but just put it in to a song where it wasn't there before, or there was a solo there before, but obviously you just know the key and you make your own thing, which is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
it's the idea. It's the idea, yeah. But
or like an intro.
I have a big admiration for that because I have no understanding of it.
It's scales.
Yes.
Yes.
That I have no understanding of.
Yeah, I know. No, and truth be told, I don't even know all my scales. I know 3. I know your basic blues scales and then 2 others, and I should, sit down and learn the rest, just like any other guitar player that has a busy life.
Yeah, I've had such a busy life, and my issue is I stopped at learning chords. I didn't necessarily stop because I'm getting better at doing embellishments and adding little soloish bits in between the chords, but
hammer-ons, pull-offs, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and I need to clean up my chords, and what I would really like to do is stop focusing on learning new songs and start focusing on becoming a better guitarist, because I already know that I can sing. I need to become a better guitarist, a more consistent and more fluent guitarist, so that I can put on a better show for the crowd.
Ironing out the finer details of the guitar playing, I totally understand that. 110%.
Absolutely. And as it is, you've got all the details ironed out, Tyler.
Well, I wouldn't say that entirely. I would say I probably somewhere around the halfway mark. Like I said, I still need to learn those scales, and there's so much more that I could learn. And that's another beautiful thing about it, that's why it's not necessarily a hobby, like I was saying earlier, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a passion.
Yeah, and you never stop learning. It's an infinite well of knowledge that you will never learn all of it in your lifetime.
Right. I think I reached a plateau for a while in my own sense, is just like focusing too much on my voice and not focusing on variety of the way I play my guitar. And my guitar's gotten stuck into sounding kind of the same for too many of my songs. It either sounds this way or it sounds this way, and I don't like that. I only have like 2 ways that it sounds behind my voice. It's not much of a band,
No, I hear you. No, I hear you. It's, I don't know. You took it a little further than I have. You played on more stages than I have, Well, I think that's awesome, I think the last thing I just recently did is I played at a nursing home because, not too long ago, and that's because their act, I guess, canceled on them last minute. And so I just zipped from work over there, and it was fun,
I personally feel like I took advice from the wrong people that kept telling me, you need to play on stage. You should be doing this for money. I'm like, whatever. Not really. I'm not that good. No, you really should. You really should. And then I tried, and then I did. And then I let alcohol get in the way and stress of saying I need to do these shows for money, but I'm not focused on the show and putting on a good performance for the crowd, which is what it's all about. It's about them. It's not about me making money. It's about presenting a good professional show so that the people that are there feel like they didn't waste their time or money.
Absolutely. I mean, I completely agree with that. I mean, without the fans, I mean, if you really want to do it, you have nothing.
Exactly. So
You know?
I'm back to square one on gaining a public reputation.
Yeah, dude. No, I
is
totally
good.
respect it. Yes, absolutely. And you know what? The best stories out there are the comeback stories.
Playing all my shows sober this year.
Hell yeah.
Well, hey man, it was really good to talk to you.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna jam out, and with that being said, do you want to play a song to close this episode?
Yeah, I mean, I can.
All right, then we're gonna cut away and get that set up.
This is a Fact of the Matter by myself, Tyler Wernecker. So, I'm on the single road again, and everything I have has been spent on preventing the end of us. Oh well. Even as these words escape me, I hate the taste they leave behind. I really don't care anymore about this. I'm feeling like shit as it is. So what's it matter to you what we do? We're all out of clue, so let's stay true to the fact of the matter, that our love is all but scattered. So I really gotta ask, what are we even doing with these torn and tattered hearts? And then time has rolled on without us, like a gust of wind that came along, and this song is all that's left, I know. Even now you're holding on to the hopes and dreams and the memories with determined clarity. Baby, I don't wanna give up on this. You and I are beautiful bliss. That's what you said instead of telling me what's wrong, but that was the key all along to the fact of the matter, that our love is all but scattered. So I really gotta ask, what are we even doing with these torn and tattered hearts? Oh no, no, oh no, no, oh no, no. I really don't care anymore about this. I'm feeling like shit as it is. So what's it matter to you what we do? We're all out of clue, so let's stay true to the fact of the matter, that our love is all but scattered. So I really gotta ask, what are we even doing with these torn and tattered hearts? So, I'm on the single road again, and everything I had has been spent on preventing the end of us. Appreciate it, man. Love that. Hell yeah.
All right, guys, that was my friend Tyler Wernecker. You cannot find him anywhere on any platform. So if you want to hear his music, good luck. You might find more of it on here in the future. And thanks for listening. Have a good evening. Remember, if it isn't fun, don't be doing it. All right, bye.